Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful tour that we're hosting for the first time. So we're super excited about DC, and we're super excited to partner with Colette Vacations. Their product is excellent. It includes so many options. So I am super happy that everyone has joined us today, and looking forward to meeting everyone on this tour. My wife Janie and I will be hosting the tour and looking forward to meeting everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call or Jill a call after the meeting, and we will help you guide you and get you booked on this tour. Thank you. Katie, would you like to get us started?
Absolutely. So thank you so much, John, for the introduction. I am Katie. I am here on behalf of Colette, and we are a tour operator based out of Rhode Island. So we're grateful to be partnered with Bursch Travel to bring you this exciting opportunity to visit our nation's capital. A little bit more about Colette. We are a family-owned and operated company, and we've been around for 107 years. You might recognize our name from the Wheel of Fortune, as we've been giving away free trips with Pat and Vanna for over 30 years. I'd like to kick it off with a very short commercial. And I want you to keep in mind, we actually recorded this commercial prior to any knowledge of a worldwide pandemic. Take a listen.
How many times have you told yourself, someday you'll travel to that special place? Stop waiting for the perfect time and make this time perfect. This is your trip of a lifetime. Your someday is here.
Honestly, we actually find the message to be more relevant now that we're on the other side of the pandemic. You heard the one sentence, stop waiting for the perfect time and make this time perfect. We all know that our time is precious, and we have a big world out there with a lot of bucket list destinations. Maybe you've been to DC in your youth or with your children, and now it's time to explore it as an adult and really see it from a different perspective. I'm proud to say that Colette made the choice to refund our travelers every single penny for tours that we couldn't operate during the pandemic. That's how we operate as a company. It's no different with the devastation today in Israel. We've ceased our operations through the end of 2025, and we've issued refunds to those travelers that had those tours booked. So rest assured, you're working with a company that you can trust. In both good times and in bad, Colette will put our traveler first. If you've not been on a guided tour before, let me just paint a little picture so you know what to expect. With Colette, we're really going to handle all of the logistics. We'll dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but we're going to build in pockets of free time so you can enjoy this destination how you see fit. You can expect 4-star strategically located accommodations. In fact, this is a spotlight tour, so it is a single hotel stay, which people love. You can unpack once and really settle in and take advantage of the destination. We're going to provide that baggage handling, so upon arrival at the hotel, we'll deliver your luggage to your room and back to the motor coach as you make your way to the airport. Rest assured that we're not just going to send you out with a note card encouraging you to go see all the sights, but instead we've carefully developed this itinerary to really introduce you to the iconic sites and to show you the culture and the history of DC. You're going to be in the company of our tour manager. He or she is a destination expert. They know the area in and out, and they're going to be your personal concierge while you're here in DC. Not only will they share more information, the history and the culture, point you in the right direction during that free time, but they'll provide entertainment as well as you make your way from point A to point B. We'll use local expert guides who can really share more of their passion for their community. And rest assured that anytime we're on the motor coach, it'll be a luxury motor coach with a professional driver. And that way you can really take in your surroundings as you gear up for that next adventure. As you look at the itinerary, rest assured that any of the entrance fees have already been included. and we'll skip most lines with our VIP admission. Lastly, just know that Colette has an expansive product team, and we put a lot of time and energy into developing these itineraries to really deliver you the best of the best. But most importantly, we've listened to our travelers over the years, and we read our surveys from every single tour to really make an impact on this current itinerary to deliver you that best experience. So let's not waste any more time. I invite you to really walk the path forged by leaders of the free world in the spirited capital city. This is an epic story of America, which will come to life here in Washington, D.C. Our tour is October 2nd through the 7th of 2025. As I mentioned, it's a spotlight tour. So we have 5 nights in the same hotel right there in the heart of DC. We'll take day trips out to Arlington National Cemetery in Mount Vernon, Alexandria, and you're in for a real treat. The maximum amount of travelers on this tour is 44. On average, we're seeing anywhere from about 37 to 40 travelers. So there's still some wiggle room on the motor coach and an opportunity for you to really get to know folks on this tour. I want to point out the activity level. So at Colette, we grade our tours from a level 1 being the easiest to a level 4, which would be the most difficult. This is great for travelers who love a balanced approach to travel. We ask that over the course of a day, you can handle about 2 to 3 miles worth of walking. Participate in a 2-hour, very leisurely paced walking tour. It might cover a couple of miles, but it would have included breaks along the way. Be able to climb a couple of flights of stairs, including boarding the motor coach, and then handle a variety of terrain, whether it be cobblestone streets or a moderate hill. So we'll kick off our time in Washington, D.C., exploring America's heritage and history as we stay in this capital city. All 3 branches of the U.S. government reside here in D.C. The itinerary will include a mix of free time where you can really uncover the city's museums and the culinary delights in this destination. On day 2, we'll kick it off at the U.S. Capitol Visitor Center, where we're going to have a guided tour of the historic and storied buildings. It'll include the Rotunda, the National Statuary Hall, and the Crypt. Then we'll discover the celebrated history of the Capitol on a tour with the tour manager. We're going to see views of the White House, National Mall, other monuments and museums. Along the way, we're going to make a stop at the Korean War Memorial. This here commemorates 5.8 million Americans who served in the Korean War back in the 1950s. We'll make a stop at the World War II Memorial. This honors the 16 million who served, the more than 400,000 who died, and all who supported the war effort from home. We'll also stop at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, honoring those that served and the 58,000 who died in the war. Tonight, we'll come together with our fellow travelers for a dinner to really kick off this journey in the capital city. On day 3, we're off to visit the Washington National Cathedral. This is a neo-Gothic structure. It was first started way back in the 1900s, but it actually took 83 years for them to complete it. It's a magnificent church. It's been host to many poignant moments in history, such as state funerals, presidential inaugural masses, and Martin Luther King Jr.'s last sermon. You'll get to admire the beautiful craftsmanship of the cathedral as you learn more about the history on a docent-led tour. Then we'll give you an opportunity to really choose how you want to see more of DC today. You'll have an opportunity to pick between these 2 activities. No additional cost, just based on your interests, you can pick what's best for you. So your first choice is to go on a walking tour where you really retrace the plots and events that led to the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. It's about a 1-mile walk where you'll learn about the sites where these connected attacks against the government played out. Your other option is to visit the International Spy Museum. This will shed a little bit of light on the secret world of espionage and intelligence. The exhibits and experiences are sure to take you undercover. So again, just pick based on your preference, and there's no additional cost. Tonight, after an included dinner, we're off to enjoy an illuminated twilight tour of the nation's capital. You'll see the dramatic monuments and memorials that this beautiful city is known for. They'll be illuminated against the darkened sky. We'll make stops at the beloved icons such as the Jefferson Memorial, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial. Seeing these iconic sites against the darkness is sure to be a highlight of your visit. On day 4, we're off to visit Arlington National Cemetery. We'll have a narrated tour that will take us to the Tomb of the Unknowns and the Kennedy grave sites. This is a military cemetery established back in the late 1800s, and it houses soldiers from the time of the Civil War up to present day. Then we'll arrive in Old Town Alexandria, a charming community nestled along the river. It truly predates America's existence, making it rich in colonial history, Civil War history, and incredible architecture for you to admire. We'll enjoy some time to really stroll the cobblestone streets, giving you time to grab some lunch on your own, take in the historic colonial architecture, and maybe you'll make a stop or two into the trendy boutiques. We'll then visit Mount Vernon, the beloved home of George Washington. This house was actually originally built by George Washington's father, but the president expanded it more than once. The estate was named by George Washington's older brother in honor of Vice Admiral Edward Vernon. After a tour of the home, you'll be able to spend some time wandering the beautiful gardens and grounds before you visit the tomb of General Washington and his wife, Martha. The evening will be yours to explore DC as you wish. You might make your way to the National Mall area or partake in the district's culinary scene. And keep in mind, it's guided free time because that tour manager is on hand to provide plenty of ideas and suggestions. On day 5, we're off to spend time in the White House Visitor Center. We're going to explore the history of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, where we'll see artifacts from the White House collection. You can walk around the Visitor Center's scale model of the White House. You'll get an up-close look at the famous structure. Then we'll uncover some of the treasures of the Smithsonian Institution with free time to visit any of the more than 10 museums which surround National Mall. You've got the National Air and Space Museum's collection, where you can see that 1903 flyer, the Spirit of St. Louis, or you can visit many other museums in the area. Another one, the National Museum of American History. It features the flag that inspired Francis Scott Key to compose our national anthem. In the afternoon, you'll continue exploration with free time. You might choose to make your way to another Smithsonian, trying more innovative flavors of the local food scene, or you could join your tour manager to take the local metro back to your hotel. Tonight, we'll come together with our fellow travelers over a farewell dinner as we remember everything we've uncovered and discovered here in Washington, D.C. So on day 6, our tour will come to a close. We'll provide transportation from the hotel to the airport so you can begin your journey home. So just a couple of housekeeping announcements. As a reminder, come May 7th of 2025, the Real ID will be required for all domestic air travel. So if you don't have it already, make your way to your local DMV and get yourself that star on your driver's license so you're able to fly with no issue. We automatically are going to enroll you into our loyalty program at Colette, and that is going to earn you a future travel credit. The credit is sizable, right about $100 or more. It's a percentage base, so it does vary by tour, but this will give you a future travel credit when you're ready to take your next Colette tour. So free credit, our way of saying thank you for traveling on the DC experience and inviting you to experience your next bucket list destination. So if and when you are ready to save your spot, I would encourage you to do so sooner rather than later. We're going to ask for a deposit of $349 per person. You'll work with Bursch on the air arrangements and the insurance. The deposit is going to be fully refundable through February 2nd. So if you were to get registered and you change your mind, you have the opportunity to get that deposit refunded until February 2nd. Outside of that, we simply ask for a final payment, which would be due July 2nd. And your total pricing is going to include most everything. It'll include your in-destination transfer. So we'll pick you up at the airport in DC, get you to the hotel. It'll include your tour with your hotel accommodations, all of the inclusions listed on the itinerary, as well as the meals that are mentioned, your tour manager who will be alongside of you every step of the way, in addition to John and his wife leading the tour. And then it'll include your transportation back to the DC airport to make your journey home. So Bursch will be providing the air schedule and opportunities at an additional cost, as well as insurance to protect your investment. I encourage you to make your way on out to the website that we've created here. You can access it via QR. The itinerary and information is on here, so that's easy for you to share with any traveling companions. They do not need to live in the Minneapolis region. You can invite folks to join us from anywhere to be part of this experience. Please do reach out to Jill or John if you have any questions. They're at Bursch Travel. They can be reached by phone or email. They can help you get registered for the tour, or simply answer any questions that you might have relating to this experience. So I really only have one question for you, and that ties back to that video. What are you waiting for? We invite you to make 2025 your someday and experience our spotlight on Washington, D.C. with John and Bursch Travel. John, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you, Katie. That was awesome. I just real quick recap. Why would you want to work with Bursch Travel on your groups? Well, we've been in business since 1956, and we're a third generational company. We now, Laura Debich Bursch is Fred's daughter, who owns the company now. So we're a family agency, and we want to take care of you, and that's why Janie and I are taking you on this wonderful trip as well. Of course, our personalized service with Jill and I on hand will enhance your experience as well from start to finish. So we are definitely looking forward to talking to you about this trip. And now you know why, after Katie's presentation, why we picked Colette specific for this tour. A terrific company. They stand behind their product. And like Katie mentioned, during COVID, they were the only tour operator that, after they canceled their tours, refunded their tours, which is a big plus. Not saying that's going to happen again. Let's pray it doesn't. But just so you know, they stand behind their product, and we will stand behind them. We are recording this presentation, and we'll forward it off to you for those of you all that signed up. So you can look at it again, or pass it on to your family and friends, and hopefully they can join us as well on the trip. With that, does anybody have any questions? It doesn't look like anybody has any questions, but so if you do, just go ahead and reach out to Jill and I, and we will do everything we can to answer everything as quickly as possible. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Thank you so much.